what defines, encompasses one's duty? How do I know if I am fulfilling all my duties? For the last question, only you will know if you are fulfilling your duty. I won't know. The most important duty. There is a late Latifi here. I know, whoever. In the Gita, Krishna says, you must look at in the context of the Gita first. Krishna says to Arjuna, perform your duty of protecting the world from evil. If you hand this over to others, there will be great disaster. So try to maintain your status quo and win this battle. This is Krishna's. Now, each person has to look at this carefully and decide for himself what one's duties in life are. There are many textbooks available which will kind of tell you what kind of duties you should be doing. However, doing your duty, the most important duty according to Krishna himself. When you say duty, Krishna uses the word dharma. When Vyasa in the Gita uses the word dharma, people say swadharma. Swadharma, the most important swadharma. Why are we performing duties? To find happiness for others and happiness for oneself. Satisfaction in doing duties to others is happiness to myself. And the thing you do to others because they are part of your circuit is to give happiness to them. But according to the great rishis, the greatest happiness is to discover the blissful essence of our being. So the most important dharma for all intelligent human beings is to discover the essence of happiness. If you don't discover the essence of happiness, how will you make others happy? You can make them happy in the usual way, but then that's been going on for ages. There's no change. So if you find true happiness, which is your inner self, and if you try to make others understand, that is the biggest duty. It overrules all other duties. It is regarding that duty that Krishna says, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. Even if you practice a little bit of that dharma, people mistake it. They say, if I do my duties properly. No, if you practice even a little bit of the duty of trying to find true happiness, which is what we are all seeking in some way, in a misunderstood way maybe, then that a little bit of practice on that is enough to take you trayato mahato bhayat, take you across the fear, the great fear of death. So that is one's duty. However, you will have to do your duty to your husband, to your wife, your children, your father, your mother, all that is fine. But if it in any way crosses the essence of dharma, which is to find the truth, then more importance should be given to the finding of the truth than to anything else. And that you are performing your dharma shouldn't mean that you are stepping on other people's toes. That's also there. If you can do your duty and help to all who are around you, but that doesn't mean that you should harm another group which is not around you. Then it has no meaning. It doesn't have the meaning of the word duty then, dharma. Okay. Now what happens? Suppose somebody has discovered that the whole world is one's family. Which duty can he do or she do? Tell me. There's only one duty, Try to lead them to what you have discovered. This came last. Should I put it down? No, because it came last. So. A personal question, but the person probably wouldn't mind reading it out, otherwise he wouldn't have given it to me. But I won't read the name. Name is there. On one such December evening, we had met you for the first time 5 years back. And here was an opportunity to be again in your presence. One is left wondering, what's the point when one has not brought much change in oneself? One's own life's experiences say the pursuit of pleasurable has only brought suffering. But one still stays with tamas. Problem is, one feels the pain knowing where one is. One has got a glimpse to some sort of silence, but one does not know how to be with it. In the feeling of loneliness, the worst is seen. To change, is it about will or one's own resolve or sankalpa? And where is it found? Is it about courage facing one's worst or clarity in one's own head? Where is it found? One lives with sadness, regret, low confidence in one's own self. Yet the pretense, the contradiction, the foolishness, this sounds like Krishnamurti. Do you read Krishnamurti? Selfishness, excess. Why? Where does one begin from again? How does one begin all over again? That's the only way. Begin all over again. You have your own answer here. Begin all over. You said 5 years ago you met this, and then it was wonderful. But then 5 years have passed and you see, and you didn't say there is no change. There is some silence somewhere hiding, but then you're caught in this whole business and you're not doing what you should be doing, and therefore you say, now what do I do? Where do I start? Start now. Now forget about what happened in 5 years. Okay? Don't worry about that. You met me, you didn't do, okay, fine, forget. It doesn't exist now, it's gone. Life is like the flowing river Ganga. It takes everything with it and moves, so it's gone. So can you start on a fresh chapter now? Saying, I've met him again, so may I start again. That's the answer to your, where does one begin from here? How does one begin all over again? Exactly as you began 5 years ago. But don't give up. Stick to it. That's my suggestion. What I'm saying is put away the past. I hope this is not from the same person, same paper. I understand your pain. Honestly. I might be joking, but I understand your pain. One thing is clear, that you are struggling. If you are not struggling, you wouldn't have come back here after 5 years. You want to come back, you want to go back. So stay on, don't move. Forget what happened. Think today is a new day and you're going to begin as if you're seeing me for the first time. This is a technical question about someone who has read too much. There are others who offer apanavayu to pranavayu and pranavayu and apanavayu. But as per your understanding, we practice Kriya. There's a gap between prana and apana. This is confusing. Let's keep it off for some time. All your prana, apana, everything is one, please. Prana, apana, samayukta. Now, this is dangerous and very difficult. Please let us know how to connect with you via telepathy. Now, please don't do that, even if you know how to do it. Already the emails flood my head. All I need is one telepathy in between. Huh? I thought she's practicing some technique of telepathy. Okay, this much I can tell you. Sometimes deeply, out of concern or out of pain or out of desire to move forward in the spiritual field, if you feel you can't catch me, you can't find me, you need to send me ask for help, you can do that. But don't say, I asked for help but nothing happened. You don't know if anything happened. What you do is when you sit down to meditate, send a message. Like, this is our sending point and this is our receiving point. So from here, make your message into a capsule. If you make it this long, it won't come. Exactly what it is, in a capsule. And fix one end of the capsule like a pointed bullet. Think you're going to shoot me. And then just send it once. Don't keep sending. No, I'm not joking. Seriously, that's how it works. If you keep sending, it doesn't work. One shot, finished, pat, on the target, and I receive it here. Then wait patiently for a few days to see if something is happening on registry. Don't immediately send another bullet email saying, I just shot a bullet, I don't know if it reached you. Patience is of the essence. Yes, these things do work, of course. But then I would prefer that you see me and talk to me sometime or mail me rather than the telepathy, via telepathy. What if I send you a telepathic shock then? These are not things to be meddled with much. However, if you really have a feeling, you can send it across and we will examine it. Not me, we, our committee, will examine it and come back to you. We also have our committees. One person cannot deal with it. So we say, "Bhaiya, take a look here. What is it?" This you need to read the website of the Satsang Foundation. Somebody asked, please speak the aims and objectives of the Satsang Foundation. Please go into the Satsang Foundation website. All the aims, everything is there in detail. And the Satsang Foundation, nominally I am the president, but I am separate, the Satsang Foundation is separate. We form the Satsang Foundation. Satsang Foundation can run and I can step out, possible. So, if you want to know about Satsang Foundation, don't ask M. Check the website of the Satsang Foundation. Next year I may not be president, who knows? We have written it into our memorandum of association that every year the president has to change. I wrote it. Re-elected. Secretary has to be re-elected. The treasurer has to be re-elected. So many years nobody has done this. But When the meeting happens, I go out and say, please, if you find somebody, put him there. It hasn't happened. Can happen. So please go to the website. When one has, no, don't get puzzled, there's some background to this. When one has to to hiss, but it's written in a very strange way, because after saying when you have to hiss, in brackets it says from your YouTube. How does one elevate in the spiritual journey without negativity? Good question. Also, how to work on regret and guilt. Okay. What is this YouTube? Okay. The story. Now, this comes from a story which probably a friend found on YouTube. I got a little worried about YouTube's hissing. So, there is a story told by Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa that in a busy street, not a busy street, in a little street in a village, there lived a snake, a dangerous snake. And nobody could cross the street. So one day a yogi came and he wanted to cross the street. So everybody said, don't go, there's a dangerous snake there, you might get killed. And the yogi said, well, I know how to handle this, you don't worry about me. So he went. And then the snake came out as usual. And the yogi did whatever he had to do, telepathy, and controlled the snake. And then the snake said, but I want to become your disciple, so teach me how to become like you. So, the yogi, those days there was no internet, so he didn't say, look at the YouTube. So the yogi said, this is how it should be done. He gave him a mantra diksha. Practice. But there's a condition that you won't bite anybody hereafter. The snake agreed. 1 year passed and the yogi came back and he found the streets were very busy, everybody was going up and down. So he asked them, what happened to the snake? You guys seem to be quite okay now. He said, yeah, we're not afraid of the snake anymore because he doesn't bite, nowadays. They said, so where is he? Oh, he doesn't bite, so we broke his backbone and threw him into the pit, so he's there. So the yogi went and called him by name. Snake said, Guruji, I am here at the bottom of the pit. My spine is broken, I can't move. I stopped biting, but I followed perfectly what you said. I'm not complaining. This is what happened to me, but I'm continuing my japa. So the yogi put his hand inside, got the snake out, cured the snake in whatever way he could by massaging its back and putting its bones back in shape. Then the snake was very happy and he said, I'm going to continue my sadhana. I want to become like you. But then what to do? Look at my state. This is what these boys did. So the yogi told him, my dear friend, I told you not to bite. Did I ask you not to hiss? I think that's the reference to the hiss. You could have hissed and got away with it. You don't have to actually bite. So in certain situations, you might have to get angry, pretend to be angry, and do things which suit the other guy. It may not work. But deep down, have no hatred. That's what I meant. So if you hiss, you're not becoming negative. You're putting up a show among all the shows that goes on in this world. The Mahavishnu is called Ranganatha, Lord of the Ranga, of the stage. So much drama is going on, this is another drama. So you add your drama to it and carry on with life. Deep down, don't have anger and hatred. This is what I meant. Now regarding working on regret and guilt, I think the best thing to do is to forget what happened and say, I won't do it again, and try your best to move forward. Otherwise, we'll be always stuck in regrets and guilt. Come out of that saying to yourself, what has happened, I can do nothing about it now. From now on, I'm not going to do the action which has caused me this regret and guilt. So let me change. So the present movement, what you do is more important than what happened. Leave it aside. Even if you're the greatest people, some of the great rishis, once upon a time had done bad deeds. They moved forward. So, move forward. Forgetting what happened, to let go and then rejoice is the most important. Don't carry your guilt on your head. Throw it off. Yeah, it's a practical question. Tell us about daily diet, food, do's and don'ts, moderation, kriya and meditation, which I have already told. Food, vegetarian food, books to read, and somebody who wrote. So, yes, moderation is absolutely essential, but not only moderation in diet. Moderation in all things. The idea is not to indulge too much, not to completely starve. Gita, Krishna describes it in one sentence. This yoga is not for him who eats too much. The dining hall during this retreat serves such tasty food that people end up overeating also. Even I ate 2 samosas or something, whatever. Not samosa, whatever. Aloo. So, I can afford to now, but what I am trying to say is that when you practice yoga, this yoga is not for him who eats too much or eats too little. Don't begin, I am now a Kriya Yogi. From tomorrow I am having only 1 meal a day. You will not succeed. You will fall flat. After 4 days you will have 5 meals a day. So that's what is meant by moderation. Not for him who eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or sleeps too little. You should sleep, of course, but don't keep on sleeping. That's a disease called African sleeping sickness. But sleep sufficiently, keep awake sufficiently. Don't say I have become a yogi, whole night I am going to practice Kriya. Why I am saying this, any such excess will end up in your not doing anything at all after a while. So go soft, moderation. It's the same with everything. You can watch TV sometimes, no harm. But don't keep watching TV all night. Entertainment also. Sometimes the mind gets bored, it needs some entertainment. Don't make entertainment the aim of your life, that's all. And then food, especially for one who is practicing Kriya. It's ideal to have a vegetarian diet, apart from the fact that it's good to live as much as possible without causing injury to other living beings. Don't tell me plants have life and all that. Plants don't have the brain to register pain as much as an animal does. You have to eat something, so that minimum has to be done. Plus, when you eat an apple from a tree, you're eating only one apple, you're not eating the tree. It will come back again. When you eat a unit of animal, it's dead once for all gone. And also, if you note, it's the taste that catches one, not so much the. And then it becomes a habit, and your taste buds are very unhappy if you can't eat it. So, a yogi's business is to look at all this carefully and decide what is best for him. If you are a practitioner of Kriya or any other form of yoga, a vegetarian diet is the most conducive diet for you. Now again, don't go to the extreme of saying for all your life you have been a non-vegetarian. Suppose you say from tomorrow I have taken Kriya, so I am going to be a vegetarian. You know what will happen? Not only will you not be able to be a vegetarian, you will give up Kriya because you want to eat non-veg. So, some moderation and thoughtful consideration is required for moderation. And books to read. There are hundreds of books on this different subjects nowadays. The more you read, the more confused you get. So my suggestion is, for the time being, read the complete works of Swami Vivekananda. Good reading. You can read it for many years and still not get through it. Don't skip through it, read it carefully. And then, nowadays there are excellent translations available to Yoga Sutras, Shiva Samhita, Garanda Samhita, and so on. To read it. And those who have taken Kriya, it would be great help for them to read The Serpent Power by Sir John Woodroffe. And as far as yoga asanas are concerned, it's a good idea to do some asanas every morning before you start your Kriya. But then don't ask me which to do, you have to choose that. To go to an authentic yoga teacher who teaches yoga and not how you should worship him. So, that's what it is. It is a little embarrassing for me. Have to You were so fortunate to be one of the gopis of Lord Krishna. I never was a gopi, okay? I mean, something close. If a lucky soul like you took a few hundred years to realize the truth, what will be the case of an ordinary one like me? How long will the journey probably be? Do you know if you were not a gopi yourself? How do you know? Well, we think, as far as the supreme reality is concerned, we are all gopis only. There is man or woman, not physically. There is one Swami and the rest are all Radha Swamis. So, yeah, it took many years because it's a tough journey. But we don't know what your past was. Maybe you were a rishi or something, who knows? So don't worry too much about what you were or what you could have been, but make the best of your present and say somebody who has gone through these experiences has come and he's teaching something. So can I grasp that and move forward? And if you keep speculating on this, you'll feel, oh, for me it may take 1,000 years. Or 1,000 years is too much of a time. Who knows? What about, there's no past birth, who cares? Has gone, finished, and then you'll stop. Instead of that, keep it away. And it's possible that you might have traveled on the path. I feel that most of the people who come here have actually, before meeting this, also traveled a little bit on the path. That's how I have this very strong conviction, feeling. Maybe in different stages. All I need is to take one screw off from here, fix another one here, tamper a little, and I think you'll be okay. I'm not this screw, I mean. Actually, if you can take off all these screws, you'll be fine. Who's that? Already it's fallen off. So don't worry about that, how long. It may be tomorrow, day after. It may take some time. Don't measure. Measuring is not a good idea. Anastasia, did you write this? No. One more. Started? Huh? We have 5 more minutes. So. I'm enjoying this. People are calling me Gopi. And so. I understood your valued guidance and how to move from Tamoguna to Sattoguna and proceed further. I would like you, for the benefit of all present, shed light on how to rise above the Shadripus and the Panchamahabhut. Yeah, that's what we were discussing actually. How to ascend and get out of the things that trap you. Now for this, theoretically we can explain, but if you actually want to do that, you need to experience it. You need an anubhava. Otherwise, theoretically, yes, I want to get out of this trap, okay. But how is where the practice comes. Through constant practice, you will be able to free yourself. Now, the second question is, if we feel that it is our last life, do we need to get visions of a previous life to resolve? No. You don't need to get visions of your previous life, but in situations which arise, may reflect the result of your past. This you have to deal with in a very careful manner. No need to worry about visions of your past life. You'll come across a situation and you'll suddenly be wonderstruck. I didn't do anything, Rika. How did this come to me? Which means, if you have done nothing here, you have done something there. But now it's not to worry what I did there, how to resolve this which is in front of you, and don't let it drown you and take it away from the spiritual path. This is what you have to reckon. Whatever help I can give, I can give. After all, that is telepathy, no? So, in whichever way. But please understand the important role of your practice. If you practice regularly, I bet regularly, and rise above the ordinary, even if you go a few steps up, may not reach the Sahasrara, but a few steps up, you will not have many of the questions which you ask me, they resolve themselves in you. That's what I'm attempting to do. So which is why I keep saying, Nairantarya Abhyasena, Nairantarya Abhyasena, regular practice, regular practice. Not my words, Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. I think the Arati is going to start now. Let's go for that. Now I don't know how to resolve these questions. I can do one thing. It will take me some time. There are 400 people, right? It will take me some time. There are about 200 questions here. What I can do is to answer these questions to the best of my capacity, record them, and bring them out into the website in the form of a Q&A without mentioning names. Is that okay? Is that all right? Already, Penguin Random House by January or February might bring out a book. Not might, I have signed the contract. So I have to. Called Meditation Q&A with Sri M. So it should be out in February, March. So I can add this Q&A at Satsangs and ask them to do another book. Thank you. So please, it's your responsibility to keep it and give it to me in Madanapalli. Keep these also, whichever. Number them at your convenience, not us. Give it to Lakshmi, I'll take it from her. Hari Om Tat Sat, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.